Hey friends, my name is Sir Foxord and I am here today to bring to you what I think is a pretty in-depth guide to the Cayo Perico heist, either as a solo player or as 2 or more players. We're going to jump straight into it, and the first thing we're going to need to do to set up the heist is we need to scope the island of Cayo Perico itself. So we need to gather intel. We'll gather intel on the main board and we'll sit at the helm of the Kosatka and we will fast travel to the closest point we possibly can to the yellow marker. Once the submarine has travelled there, we are going to head into the moon pool and collect our moon pool vehicle, which is the Sparrow. Now most of this video is assuming that you already have the Sparrow, but fear not, because you can still do it if you don't have the Sparrow yet. I will show you how to do that, but as you can see, I'm running into the moon pool. This is where the moon pool vehicle is stored. This is the Sparrow. This will speed up a lot of these missions for you because you can weaponize this thing. It's got pretty good missile launchers. So we exit the Kosatka on the first mission and we're looking for a vellum to steal, which will take us to Cayo Perico disguised as smugglers. And if you don't have the helicopter, you're going to go to the interactive menu, you're going to select services, you're going to go to Kosatka and you're going to request a dinghy. If you don't have a helicopter, that is. You're going to use this dinghy to get to shore. And you're just going to do these missions as usual, like you normally would. A little gunfight, you're going to drive there, you're going to shoot the guys, you're going to steal the plane. But in this case, it's all sped up because you've got a helicopter. We're going to shoot the guys with the missiles. Try not to shoot the guy that's standing right next to the plane unless he moves away. As we can see in this video, if you hit the plane, it's not guaranteed to make it all the way to the marker and you're going to have to restart this whole setup again. So just be careful that you don't hit the plane so that you can make it to the island of Cayo Perico. So we're just going to take off here. You're not going to see all this footage. It's going to be a jump cut, and all you have to do is fly to the yellow marker and you will arrive here on Cayo Perico. You'll get a short cut scene. Can't skip it unfortunately, so you can't save time there, but there's 2 ways you're going to do the scoping. This is the motorcycle strat. This in my opinion is the fastest strat, but it's kind of the most risky strat because of the checkpoint. If you don't know what to do at the checkpoint, so I'm going to show what to do here. The footage is sped up there as we're going across the coast. There's not really anything over here that can spot you. As you approach the checkpoint, there's a camera. Sometimes there's a guard, sometimes a car. Just avoid being seen by those guys and get to this point here behind these trees. Then you're going to pay attention to the little mini-map on the bottom left, and you're going to look at the guys on there and their cones. So there's three of the things that you need to pay attention to. The big red dot that you see going around the corner there, that's a car. And then there's one that's moving around in the road, that's a soldier, is a guy. He walks from left to right and right to left. And then there's a third, is a guy in a tower. You need the guy in the tower to be looking to the left, you need the guy in the road to be looking to the right, and you need there to be no car, at which point you make your way through the gate, around the corner into this bush. Sometimes there's cars coming up and down this road. They won't see you if you stay in the bush, wait till they pass and then move on to this point. At this point, the guy in the tower to the right could be looking to the left, so you'll have to wait there until he looks to the right. Then you have safe passage. That is the riskiest part of the motorcycle strat. If you get caught, it's not a big deal, just have to go again. You might not have a motorcycle, you'll have to go on foot, and then it's, it is what it is. But if you get all the way there on a motorcycle, it's a good time. You're going to look for the signal box, which it's like a power cabinet. Sometimes it's on the ground floor, sometimes it's on one of the floors of the tower, but in this case it's all the way to the very top. Once you find the signal box, you're going to hack into it. And the way you hack into it is, there's 3 numbers to the left, there's 3 symbols to the right. The symbols are modifiers. Now they're multipliers, okay, so that it can multiply by 1, by 2, or by 10. Maybe by 5, I don't know, I'm not sure. But this time we have a 5, 6 and a 4. We need to make a total of 21 with the multipliers. So we're going to use the 6 to times by 2 to get 12. We'll times the 4 by 1 to get a 4. And we'll times the 5 by 5 to get 5. So 12 plus 5 plus 4 is 21 total. So that's the thing hacked. Once that's done, it's not always the same multipliers and numbers, by the way, so that's the basic way to do it. Just have to figure out what multiplies by what and get the exact number. Then Pavel will give you a message that says we can now look through the cameras. So we look through the cameras, we'll scroll through until we get to the basement, because we've already scoped all the important parts of the courtyard and the north gate and all that, so you don't need to care about them anymore. It's just the basement and the storage rooms. So we'll pan the camera around in the basement and we'll see that the primary target this time is a bearer bonds. Then we'll get to the basement storage. There's a table there that's empty, sometimes there's loot on it. There's another table there that's empty, also sometimes there's loot on it. And you can see there's a painting there. Sometimes the tables are empty and there's no loot on, sometimes there's loot on them. So this is why you go through the cameras. There can be 2 paintings in the office, this time there are none. And again, we're just going through the cameras. There can be a painting on the wall there where there's a light. There's cash on that table. Cash is the worst loot you can pick up, so we pretty much always ignore cash unless we find absolutely nothing else to steal worth value. So we're just going to finish scoping through these, scrolling all the cameras. As you can see on this table, there's a pile of gold. This is the best loot you can get on the island if there is gold. You can only get it if you have a partner that you're playing with, because you need 2 key cards to get into these rooms, and you need to put them into key slots simultaneously, and you cannot do that as a single player, unfortunately. So if you have any gold, you're going to want to bring someone to help you get in there to get to it, but only if there's 3 gold or more. If there's not, it's really not worth it. So once we've looked through all the cameras, we're either going to get spotted or we're going to kill ourselves. Because I was on the top of the tower, it's easy to just jump off and die. That will skip me a cutscene of being caught by the guards, you know. So we either die or get caught by the guards, and we'll go back to the plane to Los Santos. Okay, so at this point I'm going to show you that an easy way, this is like a foolproof way of getting to the tower without getting spotted. So what you're going to do is when you first arrive, you're going to get into the ocean. And I've got some scuba gear, so I'll equip that real quick. And then I'm going to wait for a boat and get in front of it so it's going to stop so I can steal it. So you just get in his way. He'll probably like say some profanities to you, you know, but just press F, get in his boat, steal his boat. And we're just going to make our way up to the coast here. You see like there's 3 parts of land sticking out. After you get past the 3rd, you're going to come to this shore by there's a dock there. And then you're just going to run straight over here. Watch the road. Sometimes there's guys and cars. Obviously saw on the minimap the car drove past, so you might have to wait a couple of seconds, might not. But you're just going to run all the way over here. There's really very little risk of being spotted and doing it this way, so if you're having trouble getting through that checkpoint, use the boat strategy. And then you'll have easy time in getting to the tower. So anyway, once the hacking's done, you're going to return back to Los Santos. You will spawn in Los Santos Airport. You want to bring yourself to that point on the map where I just zoomed in to resummon your Kosatka. This is the best place you can have your Kosatka for the rest of the setup missions, and you'll see why in a moment. But again, I am showing you that if you don't have a helicopter, you're going to want to summon a dinghy. I'm also showing you because sometimes there can be a bug where the icon of your Kosatka will disappear or attach itself to the sparrow. So I will put a marker on the ocean so I know where the Kosatka is, because the marker might disappear. Even though I can visibly see it over there now. I mean, that's being able to visibly see it's cool, but you could not know where it is at all because of the bug. So I put a marker on it. There's a dinghy for the dinghy people that don't have a helicopter. And obviously I have a helicopter. As you see, the bug's happened. You can see that the icon for the Kosatka is now on the helicopter. It's not in the ocean anymore. Also, my marker's disappeared, so it kind of sucks, but I can see the Kosatka. So I just fly over to it. Okay, so we're going to do the next part of the preparation, which is going to be the weapons that we're going to use for the mission. We're going to select the weapon loadout on the screen, and we're going to select Conspirator. Now there's 2 types of mission spawn for this. There's a building spawn and there's Merryweather HQ spawn. This is what you're going to do if you get Merryweather HQ spawn, because this version of the mission is just so long. You have to follow a helicopter all the way to the north of the map, and it just takes so long. So it's actually faster to move your Kosatka close enough. It's not close enough right now, as you can see. Close enough to this roof here. This is the Merryweather HQ. The helicopter we're supposed to follow will spawn on the roof when you launch the mission. And you're going to enter the periscope of your Kosatka, and you're just going to lock onto it with your missiles, and you're just going to destroy it. And then we're just going to restart that prep, the mission prep, the weapon prep, until we get a building spawn. So as you can see, this time we've got a Penrith building spawn, and that's the preferred version of this mission. You can get 3 different buildings, or you can get the Merryweather. We'd never want the Merryweather, it's too long. As soon as you get a building spawn, it's fine. Just bring your helicopter over, land on the roof. If you're in a car, you just have to deal with some guys on the floor, but you're going to end up in the same room as I enter this room here. So you're going to come in here, nobody knows we're here yet, so you can use a silencer and kill all these guys absolutely silent. If you do it in this order, you won't get spotted. There's no reason for doing this apart from you save yourself having a gunfight. That's it. You can pretty sneakily kill these guys, or you can go in loud and kill them. Do it however you like. But the objective is to wipe out all these guys and find the weapons that we're looking for. Now the weapons are always in exactly the same place. They're always to the left of the desk, as we're looking at it now, on the grey part of the wall. That is the weapons locker. You'll walk up to it, you'll try and open it, and then Pavel will tell you about the computer to hack. This is how we can unlock the weapons locker. Now the way this hack works is there is an IP address at the top, and there is a sea of IPs below. Now the easy way to do this is to memorize either the first 2 numbers of the IP address at the top or the second 2, and try and find them in the sea. And then you will highlight them with the red part of the IPs. You can see in the bottom, you highlight it, and then you press the enter button. That will unlock the gun locker, which we can now open and steal the weapons. So sometimes it can be pretty risky to exit some of these buildings, because when you exit with the weapons, there's going to be 2 helicopters that are on you straight away. Now there is a way that you can get rid of all these helicopters without ever having to fight them, and that is to go out to the roof, turn around, go back inside the building, and that will then make the helicopters lose sight of you, so they'll despawn. That's how the game works. So you go back in and out, and there's only a finite of helicopters that will ever follow you. So once they've all despawned, you'll just be able to fly away, no problem. Otherwise, you know, if you don't mind risking running out and having a little fight, just run out, jump in your helicopter and fly away. You don't have to really fight many guys on many of these missions, so there's just some strats in here that will help smooth things out, make it, you know, the optimum, fastest way. So we're on the next prep. This is the cutting torch. The cutting torch is always found at a construction site. It's either the high-rise construction site, the construction site across the street, which has got like 3 levels, or this small construction site here to the north. You're just going to fly across. There is an option to use a hard hat and go in there and kind of be stealthy, but I found that if you pick the cutting torch up near somebody that's an enemy, you're going to be pretty much dead straight away, as all the guys turn around and start shooting at you simultaneously. So I found the best thing to do for these missions is just to come in and just blow everybody up first. Just kill everything that you lock onto. And obviously if you're in a car, you can just drive and you're going to have a little gunfight. It's just basic GTA gunfights. If there's any guys left, you're just going to mop them up with your gun when you land, and then you're going to run around looking at inside these little toolboxes until you find this blue thing. This is the cutting torch. This is what we're here for. We pick that up. We're going to quickly head back to our vehicle, because vehicles will start spawning to chase us, and we're going to quickly fly away. If you're in a car, you might have a harder time of dealing with these guys, so you can see the use of having this helicopter can just quickly dip, get away from the guys chasing in cars. And that's the cutting torch delivered. The next prep that's in the list is the fingerprint cloner. So you're going to start that up, same steps. We're going to go back and get a helicopter. We're going to make our way to a warehouse. Now Paul's going to tell you that there's some cameras and yada yada, and we can you can't destroy the cameras by shooting them because the alarm will go off. The only way to disable the cameras is to go around the corner and turn off the power. Like, it's all just pointless because you're going to be in a gunfight when you get in there anyway. What I do is I walk in, kill the first guy, I'll throw a grenade at this port on the wall. This will literally wipe out everybody in this room. Like, gunfight avoided. Like, cameras care, we don't care. Everything's on fire, it doesn't matter. We're just going to make our way to the computer over there to hack the computer and find out the location of El Rubio's fingerprint cloner. So this hack's the simplest hack in the game. All you have to do is line up the red numbers with the blue bar in the middle, and as they are in the blue bar, you press the button to lock them in place, and you reveal the password is Panthers. There you go, you've cracked the password. We find out where the fingerprint cloner is stored, and we will make our way over there, as you can see. Now, to prevent yourself from being chased out of this mission, because as soon as you get the fingerprint cloner, you can get cars chasing you. The way to prevent that is to just shoot these cameras. Shoot these 2 video cameras. It's not always here under the bridge, sometimes it's on the beach, but there's always cameras. You can shoot these ones. They will not set off anything. And we broke in. The fingerprint clone is always on the last set of tables, so I always walk in there, do a circle and run back out. You always pick the thing up and you just exit the place. An NPC crashed into my helicopter, which was very nice of him while I was in there, so kind of lucky we make it back with the helicopter this time as we deliver the fingerprint cloner and we prepare to do the next prep. The next prep will be the safe code, which we will need to get into El Rubio's safe inside his vault, and that is on his head of security, who is currently at some kind of party at the casino. So we're going to go and gate crash this party real quick. So we head over to the casino. You're going to want to leave your vehicle where I'm leaving my helicopter here, because you see the garage to the right hand side. This is where we are going to come out when we have finished this section of the mission. We'll appear here, so that's where we want to get in our escape vehicle real quick, because we're going to have police chasing us. Now, if you don't own a penthouse, this part will send you into a garage below to look for a key card, a key pass to get into the penthouse. It's always the same car, it's always a yellow Lampadati. Once you've done that, you'll come to this place where I am now. You'll shoot these 2 guys in the head with a silencer, and then you're gonna disarm yourself, because you can walk around in this place no problem until you pull out a weapon. So the first place to check for the head of security is in the bedroom to the right. Sometimes it can be in here. It's just over there, usually by that chair. Not this time. So we're going to go check the second place that he can spawn. There's only 3 places. The second place he can spawn is in an office to the right here. You can see that's where we have him this time. And he can also spawn over here at the bar through this room here. So if he's not in the first 2 places you checked, he will be over there by those arcade machines. The best thing to do is, before you attack the guy, you want to make sure that you're not in sight of a lot of guys before you pull out your gun, because you're going to have instant gunfight with everybody in the building's going to want to kill you. So you're going to kill the head of security, and then you're going to kill any guys that's coming for you until it's safe enough to get the key code off the guy. You're going to need a little animation to like ruffle through his pockets and stuff to actually get the key card from the guy. So as you can see, I'm just waiting for the onslaught of enemies that are trying to come and get me. It can be pretty risky if you want to try and pick up the key code already. You see, so if I was picking up this guy with a shotgun, would have definitely shot me to death. He almost did. Anytime you get low on health and it's a bit risky, you can lean up against a wall use your interactive menu, and you can just eat a lot of snacks to bring your health back. You can also equip armor in that menu if you have armor to equip, which also gives you like an extra full health bar. Okay, so I'm happy that none of the guys are close enough to me or even like have line of sight on me anymore, that I'm going to be able to steal this thing and run out of here without any more issue. As you can see, I took a pretty nasty shot to my face there, so it can be pretty rough in here, so make sure that when you first kill the guy that you're out of sight of most of the other guys, because they'll all instantly start shooting at you at the same time. It can be pretty rough. Anyway, once you get out, you're going to make your way back towards the elevator. There's going to be four guys guarding the elevator, hiding behind various walls and couches. Just want to shoot the guys, throw grenades at them, whatever. Fail a few grenades thrown at this guy. Weren't the best throws. Weren't the best throws at all, but you know. There's a guy around there. He's dead. We're on our way out. So we'll spawn at the garage, which we left our helicopter outside, or our car. We left it right where we needed it. The cops aren't on us yet. They don't see us yet. It's a quick getaway. And for this one, you don't need to go back to the Kosatka to finish the mission. As soon as you lose the cops, you'll have the save code, but we're going to go back there anyway because we have one more preparation to set up for the heist. But before we see that one, we will see the alternate version of this mission, which is a plasma cutter. This is in case there is anything inside the glass case and it's not the primary loot, sorry. If the primary loot is in the glass case, it can either be a pink diamond, it can be tequila, or it can be a necklace, or if you're really lucky, it can be a Jade Panther statue. You need the plasma torch to get to all of them. You only need the save code for the bearer bombs. So this is probably a more common setup that you're going to do. So you're going to come to this safe house. This is where a gang are planning a heist. You're going to come in, you're going to take a picture from the doorway. You don't need to be in a place. The way the camera works in this game, you can just get one pixel of what you need and get straight back out. So we now have the location of where these guys were planning the heist, because they're already doing it. So they have the plasma cutter actually on them, so we need to go and take them out and steal it. Now this can be pretty rough. If you're in a car, this will be pretty rough. You might need some help to do this. You might be, take some good cover. But what you need to do is get the guy to drop the plasma cutter. Once the guys drop the plasma cutter, you see these cars are going to start coming. They're going to try and recover the plasma cutter. You want to kill them all. Keep killing them until they stop spawning. Do not attempt to go and pick up the plasma cutter. Unless you're confident that you're good enough and you're good at gunplay and stuff, I mean, it's risky. Don't go running in there to try and pick up the plasma cutter as soon as it drops on the ground. You want to deal with every last enemy before you go anywhere over there, because you're going to be cornered where the plasma cutter gets dropped. It's a little dead end. So definitely it's advised to wait for all the cars to be destroyed. There's maybe 6 or 8 cars. Once they're all destroyed, they will stop coming. There's not infinite cars, so there's, like I say, maybe 6 or 8 you're going to have to deal with. We're just mopping up the last of these guys here. Just going to get an angle on them because I can't really see them from where I am. Just wait for the homing missiles to start beeping and then just launch missiles at them. So that was the last bunch of guys. Find a nice place to land the helicopter. Just having a quick check to make sure there wasn't any more guys left. So now I'm landing the helicopter. It's probably not the best place to land it, in the middle of the road. The NPCs are going to come and crash into it, but you know, hindsight is 20/20, right? We're back in the helicopter. So that's the other version of the primary loot setup you need to do. So that covers that. And the next part is the approach vehicle, which we're going to use, the Submarine Kosatka. There's also 2 ways of doing this mission. The first way I am going to just use the helicopter, the second way we'll use the submarine itself, but on both ways we are going to fast travel the submarine closest possible to the marker. In this case, you see I am flicking through to see which is the closest position until I settle on North Chumash.
Okay.
So we fast travel the submarine, and basically then what we have to do is deal with a helicopter and 3 dinghies full of Merryweather guys. Okay, so there is a scuba gear there next to your moon pool, so if you need to equip the scuba gear because you don't have very good lung capacity, equip your scuba gear, make your way over. Like, you could do this thing in a dinghy. What you want to do is get a sniper rifle and kill all these guys with a sniper rifle. If you've got a rocket launcher, come and get onto one of these islands and blow them up from a distance where they can't get to, where they don't know you're there yet. You want to kill them before they know you're there, basically. You don't really want to have a fight with a helicopter. You want to just kill him while he's, you know, standing still. Find a suitable place to land. Sometimes you can land where I was about to land, but the ocean's a bit angry right now, so find a nice place to land. Or if you're in your dinghy, just dive straight into the ocean at that point. And you want to go into the center of this yellow marker that's in the ocean. Below the yellow marker is the enemy submarine that we are here for. We're here to steal a sonar jammer, which allows us to use our Kosatka to enter the heist with as an entry point. So make sure you've got your grenade equipped on your throwables, and then pick up a weapon. It's risky in here. There's guys around corners with shotguns that will blow your head off in one shot. It's easier to kill them with grenades. So if you see that I throw a grenade on the floor, it's going to deal with that guy. Throw a grenade at the wall, it'll deal with a guy around the corner. These guys are devious, man. They're waiting to blow your head off with a shotgun. Like, there's one. This guy, he'll blow your head off easily. Take care of the guy that's below the floor, because like, not everybody's going to notice that guy's there, and he can shoot you to death as you run across the top. Sometimes there's a guy, he's either in this room or is just through the doorway. So I throw a grenade just in case he's already in this room. That'll take him out, which in this case you see it did. Sometimes he's in this little doorway. There's 2 guys in this room to shoot. Just keep peeking around the corners until you reveal enemies and like casually take them out. So this is the sonar jammer. There's 3 places it can spawn. There's the first, and we're going to show you the other 2. You make your way down these steps. If it's not on that table already, there's a guy to the left. You take him out. Sometimes there's a guy right there, but there's not this time because he's to the left in here. He's going to run away. We want to take him out because he'll try and kill us on our way back up the stairs. He'll be waiting for us. So we kill the chef, we kill that guy. There's another guy at the top of the stairs. We kill him. There's also a guy at the bottom of the stairs. We kill him. Don't throw any grenades at this point. There's two explosive canisters there that will kill you, so try not to. There's a guy that comes out here with a shotgun. Sometimes he can be in this first room, sometimes he's there near the computer, and there's a guy through this room to the left. Now the sonar jammer can sometimes be there on that green box, and as you can see here in this Meatherways box, you can get a health pack. That's always there, regardless of where the sonar jammer spawns. So we're going to the 3rd possible location of the spawn. You see there's the guy we shot through the upper level. They can shoot you through the floor. And we're just checking around corners. We're going to take it real easy, just peeking around till we just see a guy look. So like, he don't know we're there, we shoot him. He can be anywhere in this room, so peek carefully. There's a guy up the top there. Sometimes that guy can be around this corner. Sometimes there can be a guy up there. Sometimes there can be a guy up there. This is where the sonar jammer can spawn in the 3rd place. And if you have a look up here, there's another Merryweather supplies crate which contains a full bar of armor. Okay, so once you have the sonar jammer, you're going to make your way back out. We don't have the sonar jammer yet because I was showing you the spawns, but on my way out I'm going to pick it up. and we'll see the rest of the strat. These submarines can be a maze, and you can get lost in these submarines, so yeah, try and remember the way through the submarine, I guess. Getting lost in the submarine is never fun. Pick up the sonar jammer. You own a submarine, so you've got a scuba gear, so you don't need any of the rebreathers that it tells you about in the submarine. Ignore that. Just use a scuba gear. And I'm going to swim back to my helicopter. And the way that these helicopters are positioned right now, these guys can't shoot at me. So here's the strat for this. You get out your sniper rifle. You aim at the guys that are the threat to you. These are the guys that have got the weapons. You can see that the bullets themselves aren't weaponized, so if you're going to kill this guy, and you kill the other guy, the other helicopter, these helicopters are now, you know, they're not a threat at all. Just do a little dance to show them that can't do anything to me anymore. Okay, so once you've killed the guys, you've got pretty much a free passage to fly your helicopter back to your Kosatka. They're not going to do anything to you. Demonstrated here. They can't do anything to you. The helicopters have got no weapons. The pilots can't shoot out of the pilot seat, so they are rendered useless. Okay, so there's another way to do this, and that's when we arrive at the fast travel location, we're just gonna take control of the Kosatka. We will then drive the Kosatka forward towards the yellow marker. When we get close enough to the enemy vehicles, we're going to get into the periscope, and we're going to deal with the enemy vehicles first. So you can see we're just going to lock onto this buzzard. They're going to fire. He's going to be dead. We'll do the same for the boats. They'll be dead too. There's one helicopter and 3 dinghies that you need to take care of. And once you've taken care of the enemies, you're going to exit the periscope, and you're going to continue to drive the submarine towards the enemy submarine. Okay, so as you can see, there's a yellow marker there. That's the entry point to the enemy submarine. We're going to exit the helm of the submarine, and we're going to just exit the submarine itself. There's no enemies to shoot at us anymore, so that's cool. We're just going to dive into the ocean and enter the yellow mark. So that's the way you do the submarine. For the submarine strat, I'm not going to show the footage of inside, so once you've done the inside, you come back out. You can literally enter your submarine from the underneath before the helicopters even spawn to try and kill you. So that's the kind of foolproof way to do the Kosatka mission. Or you can use helicopters. This is probably the better way to do it, actually. So that's all the setups done, and let's move on to the heists. So this is the solo strat for the heist. We're just going to start this up. It's going to ask us if we're sure we want to do it on our own. Of course we are. So the way you set this up for solo or more than one player is the same. We're always going to use the Kosatka as the approach, we're always going to use the drainage tunnel as the infiltration and entry point, and we always use the Kosatka as the exit point. Time of day to day, we're going to make sure that there are suppressors on the weapons. Then we're going to continue. That will launch us into the heist, and here we go. So we're going to start out, we're in the Kosatka obviously, we chose that as our approach vehicle, So we exit the Kosatka wearing our scuba gear, and we are going to approach the draining tunnel, which should be directly in front of us at this point. So we're just going to swim forwards. You can see that the yellow mark is there in the distance. We just need to reach that for now. The heists are recorded and played in their real time, so I've not sped any of this up so that you can see everything that's happening here. Probably could have sped up the swim to the marker, but oh well, we're almost there now. So when we get to the marker, we're going to use the first piece of equipment that we collected, and that is the cutting torch. We need the cutting torch to get through this grate. So we're just going to cut the bars where the green highlighted areas are, and once they're all cut through, we will be able to push the grate aside and swim into the drainage tunnel. They're all cut. Just get a mini cutscene of seeing the character push the bars away, or we just swim up into the little area below the pool maintenance room. So when we get here, we press E to activate that we want to use this infiltration point, at which point we get this little cutscene of us climbing up into the pool maintenance room, and this is the exit to there. So as a solo player, the first thing you're going to do is start running straight forward up the steps. You're going to make a left, try and stay far left as you can. Sometimes the guy can see you on the right. Stay far to the right as you turn left. Go up these steps and check this guy on the left. If he's standing looking down these steps, just wait a second until he starts moving away. When you kill this guy, you need him to be around the corner. The reason he needs to be around the corner is there is a skull marker juggernaut guy walking around the map, and he can possibly spot his body. That is not ideal. So you need to kill the guy in the place where he won't be spotted. Okay. Now these guys, all 4 of these guys that I just killed, they can possibly hold a key. Key will help us get through gates. The gate is a faster way to go to the vault than it is to go through the elevator. The reason being, there is more fingerprints to do on the elevator at the top than there are on the gate at the bottom. Now if you found a key on one of the sleeping guards in free mode, you can see that I just got a golden gun out of the drawer there. If you have that key, you can open that drawer and unlock the golden Cayo Perico gun. If you got the key, you're going to make your way back outside. You're going to jump over this railing, making sure that the big red skull marker on the minimap is nowhere near you. If he is, you're going to have to wait until he passes before you jump across. So here's the fingerprint cloner. The way I do the fingerprint cloner is I scroll along till the very tip of the fingerprint, and then as I go down, I scroll to the right one more. So in the second place down, I scroll right once. In the third one down, I scroll right twice, and so on and so on. It's a foolproof way of solving the fingerprints every time. As you can see, there's 2 fingerprints to solve here. That's because it's in hard mode. If this was in normal mode, there'd only be 1 fingerprint to solve here. And on the elevator itself, if it was in hard mode and we didn't get a key, we'd have to solve 4 fingerprints. And if it was in normal mode and we didn't get a key, we'd have to solve 3 fingerprints. So hard mode adds an extra fingerprint to each of those scanners. So as you can see, this version of the heist, we have the save code. So all you need to do is remember the save code real quick, type and put that into the safe. You will be able to take the primary target from the safe, which is this bearer bonds. So we're going to grab the primary target. As a solo player, that's all we can do inside the compound, so our aim now is to exit the compound. We're going to come through this gate. Again, we're going to check for the big red cone juggernaut. As you can see, he is coming, so I am going to stay out of his way for just a moment as he's going to pass. Okay, so he has gone away. We are safe to now jump over this wall. Need to check in this area for guards. You might want to kill those two guards there where they won't see each other, but it is completely safe to run into the marker and activate the exit point to the compound. Now, once we're outside of the compound, there will be a few guys to deal with. Just make sure that you take your time with dealing with these guys. Be aware that you need to not shoot these guys at bad angles, because if you shoot a guy and a bullet lands near another guy, you're going to alert them. You need to kill these guys in quick succession of each other. Don't need to get a guaranteed headshot on both of them. Make sure you headshot the first one, at least. If you hit the second guy and he doesn't die, shoot him on the floor until he dies. If he even slightly gets up, that's when the other guards will be alerted. So don't panic too much if you don't double headshot them. Just calmly shoot the first guy and then shoot at the second guy. If you don't hit him right away, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you hit him with some bullets. If he hits the floor, hit him while he's on the floor until he dies. Then you're going to follow the route I take with this motorcycle. Take it easy. You don't want to crash into any trees. If the helicopter's right behind you and you crash into some trees, you're going to get spotted. You really don't want to get spotted in this heist. It's just going to make it so much harder, because we skipped a lot of setups that we don't need in the stealth run of the heist. So we're going to come over here. We're going to take out this guy. We're going to take out this camera. And this is the first possibility of solo player loot. As you can see, there's some cocaine in this lockup. There are a chance of 3 different items in these lockups. You can either get cocaine, you can get weed, or you can get cash. The best thing you can pick up is cocaine. 2 stacks of cocaine will fill your bag. The second best thing you can pick up is weed. 3 stacks of weed will fill up your bag. The difference, though, between a full bag of weed and a full bag of cocaine is only $4,000. $4,000 being minuscule, so don't be too picky between the drugs, but only pick up cash at a very last resort. If you go to all these places that I'm going to now, have no drugs in them. Only pick up cash as a last resort. So you can see I'm like methodically taking these guys out from certain positions, that's so bullets don't hit near the other guys. We need to take out all of these guys in this area. There's 2 guys that are standing on the dock. You can go over here. First you need to take out this guy that's over there, so he doesn't see us approaching. It's recommended you wait until guys stand still, so you can get a good solid shot on them, unless you're confident you can hit them, but make sure they stand still. You can line these 2 guys up and shoot them both in the head real quick. That eliminates any risk of one of the guys falling in the water and you not being able to shoot him anymore, which has happened to me many times. But that just solves everything there. So there's another cage that you can get into as a solo player using the cutting torch. Again, there's 3 types of loot that can spawn in here. This time you see there's 2 lots of weed. I'm not going to pick them up because I'm going to hit another place, just to show you that there's another place you can hit. Otherwise I would have just picked that weed up and got in this boat and left at this point. If you have been into both of these cages and it's just cash, or they're both empty, then you're going to skip them and you're going to go to the next location that I am going to make my way to now, which is the runway. As you exit in the main dock, you're going to look to the left to see if the boat's over there, see which part of his patrol he's on. Sometimes he's directly in front of you, so you don't need to look left, but you need to see which direction he's currently travelling, because we need to not get seen by him, because we're not done here yet. So we're going to sneak past this guy. We're going to turn to the north or to the right We're going to head over to the runway, just having a little eye on where the helicopter's going. The helicopter flies all across the island. It flies to the runway, it flies to the docks, it flies to the north docks, so it's looking everywhere for us. You know someone's on the island, but they don't know where, so like no one's fully alerted yet until someone actually sees you. So don't worry about the helicopter. It doesn't know you're there, it's just looking to see if there's somebody there, because they're suspicious there's somebody here. Anyway, once you arrive at the runway, there are 3 other cages that you can hit that can possibly have single player loot in them. So just try and make your way across this little boggy area. Get a solid shot on this guy. Sometimes there's a car coming down the road, just wait for that to go away. You don't want to get seen by the car. So you're going to come into this hangar. There's a cage directly in front of you. Again, 3 types of loot can spawn there: cash, cocaine, weed. We're here just for drugs, really. And like I say, cash is the last resort. If you get to the runway and you've got no drugs to pick up, and it's just cash, you may as well just take the cash and just go. So that's one cage in this place. There's another cage that isn't obvious. So you get this forklift truck, you take it over to this pallet, pick it up, and we're going to position this pallet in a manner where we can climb up and over the fence to the not so obvious cage. Just drive the forklift against the wall here, lift up the pallet as high as it's going to go, put it against the wall, and we're going to climb up the makeshift staircase we've just created. Okay, so this is the second cage that you're going to have a look at the runway to see if there's any good loot, see if there's any cash in there. That's no good for us unless there's nothing else. So there's one more cage that you can check. I will show you that right now. Also, when you're on your way out of this place, you want to see if there's a car coming. Don't go outside. Just see if there's a car coming, or if it's already there first. Just don't want it to see you. Check first. Better safe than sorry. So you make way over here and kill this guy. There's the camera just around the back of the building which you want to take out. And then there's a guy sat inside this shed, and you want to kill him. As you can see, I didn't take him out in one shot, but it's okay, doesn't matter. This is the final cage you can check. There are other cages on the island, but I don't recommend trying to go for them. As you can see, there's some cocaine in there. I don't recommend trying to go for them. You should try and just get into the habit of just coming to these cages, because if you get out in under 15 minutes and you didn't get spotted and you didn't fail any hacks and you filled your bag, you're going to get a bonus to the payout anyway. So in average, you're going to get a decent payout. It's usually like $1.5 million on average. Sometimes you get 1.7 something, sometimes you get 1.3 something, but as an average it's like 1.5 million. So once you're full on your bags, you're going to head towards the sunset, or just directly away from the island itself, and you're just going to book it. You're just going to get out of there. Once you reach a point where the game considers you escaped, Pavel will talk to you and the heist is pretty much over. See that I didn't speed up any of this footage just so that you can get an idea of how long this thing takes in real time. So that's us escaped from Cayo Perico with all the loot that we collected while we were there. We're going to get the end screen. It's going to tell us how much we actually made, and that's the solo heist all complete. completed in under 15 minutes, failed 0 hacks, and filled the loot bags will get you the Elite Challenge bonus, which is another $100,000. Okay, so that concludes the single player heist, and next up will be the 2-man heist and the strats for that. Okay, so the way we're going to set up this heist is the exact same that we set up the solo heist, only we have another player joining us. So the approach vehicle is going to be the same. It's going to be the Kosatka. The infiltration point is going to be the drainage tunnel. The compound entry point is also the drainage tunnel, and the escape point the Kosatka. Time of day is the day, and we're going to put suppressors on the weapons, and we're going to continue. Okay, so the reason why we've got 2 people on this heist rather than just 1 is because when we did the scoping, we had enough gold to fill 2 players' bags. That will give the heist leader a nice little bonus, maybe 100k more, maybe 200k more, but it will also give the second player like 300, maybe 400k, so you can make a little bit more money from the heist itself. Not too big of a deal for the host, but a nice little payout for anybody that you decide to bring along. So a lot of this stuff's just going to be the same deal. To start with, you're just going to swim towards the grate, and you're going to cut open the grate as before. Again, this is in real time, nothing here is sped up, so there'll probably be some times where I'm not going to say anything at this point because a lot of this stuff's already explained, so... To activate any infiltration points, when you are more than 1 person, everybody needs to be there with you before you can activate it. So make sure everybody's there before... I mean, the game won't let you continue unless they're all there anyway, so just be aware of that. Everybody needs to be there, nobody can go AFK. So once we exit the pool maintenance room this time, as a more than 1 person strat, we are not going to go straight forward this time. We're going to do a 180 and go the opposite direction. The reason being for this is we need to find a key card. We got lucky this time, and one of the first 2 guys we killed drops a key card. Sometimes you can get unlucky and you'll have to kill a few more guards to find a key card, but you know, just follow the route that I'm taking right now. Kill the guys where I'm killing them, because that's where they need to be killed, to be unseen by cameras or patrols. So it's good to be patient while you're inside the compound. Getting seen in the compound is pretty much the worst thing you can do on this heist itself, because you throw the entire heist into a rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting, and you've done no disruption, so it's going to be a hard time for anybody, especially like somebody that's not used to the heist itself. There's helicopters coming to attack you, there's everything. So the whole name of the game is just to not get spotted. As you can see, I'm being patient here. I'm going to wait for this guy to be where I need to be to kill him, which is around this corner, so his body will be unseen. make our way over here. Depending on how long you had to wait for guys to get in position, sometimes the big red juggernaut guy can be on his way around. You might have to wait for him as well. So just like the solo strat, as we're making our way up the stairs, there's 3 guards that we need to deal with on the way. Bit of bad shooting on my part this time, but as you can see, it's not a big deal if you don't headshot them straight away, as long as you kill them real quick after. So this is where the vault is in the office. I don't think I mentioned this on the single player strat, I was busy talking about something else, but that's the office. There's a second key card on the desk, what you're going to need for the 2-player strat. You can see we're so used to getting a key drop for us that we're now making our way to the gate, but unfortunately this time we didn't have a key, so we wasted our time in doing this. But this would be the fast way. If we had a key, we didn't have a key, but that benefits you guys because now we have footage of what to do if you don't have a key. Don't do what we just did there, run downstairs. If you don't have a key, once you get to the office, what you need to do is hack the fingerprint scanner that's on the elevator, which you'll see me doing here. And as I mentioned before, there are a lot more fingerprints to match on the elevator than there are on the gate below, so you can see why going through the gates faster. We had no key this time, so we pretty much got no choice. So I'm going to solve these 4 fingerprints and we'll be in the elevator. The elevator and the gate both lead to the vault, so we're not doing anything spectacularly different here. Just we're forced to go this way, so we didn't get a key for the gates.
Wow, bellissimo. Ha spaccato tutto. Musica da paura. Circolo plastic. Non sbagliamo mai.
Again, I'm just scrolling to the tip of the fingerprint on every section and then counting as I scroll them along. It's just a foolproof way of solving the fingerprints. Okay, so we are going to enter the vault through the elevator this time. Okay, so these are the key card places. You need 2 players to get into these. Wait for the guy to move even slightly, put in the key card in, and you put the key card in. So you let the other guy put the key card in first. He starts putting the key card in, you see him move, and then you start putting the key card in, and you'll unlock the door. While that guy is in there taking some gold, I am now out here. This is the plasma cutter version of the solo heist, not solo heist, of the primary loot. To use the plasma cutter, you're going to hold page up until it gets to the red, then you're going to let go. You're going to need to do this a maximum of 4 times before the plasma cutter gets through the glass and you're able to take the loot yourself. Okay, so we got the primary loot. We took the gold out of the room over there. Because we have no key, we have to go out of the vault, back up the elevator, and then we're going to get the rest of the secondary loot. So as mentioned before, it's not really worth bringing more players along unless you have at least 3 stacks of gold bars. And what you want to do is then be really careful when you come out of the vault. As you can see, the Juggernaut guy's on his patrol around. We will get seen if we try and do anything from this point. We need to be where he is right now, so we're going to wait for him to pass. Then we're going to deal with a guy that's walking around a small courtyard area that will possibly see us through the window. Well, I say possibly, he will definitely see us through the window while we're taking the gold, so we don't want him to be walking around. We also don't want to kill him where the camera's going to see him, so I'm going to stand here and wait until he reaches the point where I am aiming. Right, he's far enough away from the camera, he won't be seen and nobody can patrol and see his body.
In the darkness we will remember. The sun and moon always shine.
So I'm just going to patiently wait, also watching everything else around me so it's not coming to see me. My friends or your friends should also be telling you where other guys are. Then we're going to quickly unlock this, and as you can see, the Juggernaut guy is coming back. We don't want to be in that room. Again, there's windows on the room, you can be spotted through windows. We're going to wait until it's safe from him, pretty much. We don't want to risk a thing. At this point, you're literally minutes, seconds away from finishing the heist. Like, these secondary loot locations, where these 2 bars of gold are right now, they aren't always the same. As you saw when we were scoping the island, you can get cash in these rooms, you can get paintings in these rooms, you can get nothing in these rooms. So it depends on where this stuff can be. This is the hardest room to get to, so I've showed you like the guy that you definitely need to kill to get into this room. If there's gold in the other rooms of this place, just use your own common sense. And watch the guys around and like try and take them out without being unseen, but it's not so difficult as getting into this center room. This center room's the most risky room, so you've got the footage of that. But I fully believe that you guys could probably figure out how to get into the rooms yourself. But that's how you get into the rooms, with the key cards. You wait for the first player to put the key card in. As soon as you see him moving his arm, you put the key card into. That'll unlock the room. When you take secondary loot, once you're both full, in this case we're both full of gold, we're going to leave the place. At this point we don't need to go anywhere else. We don't need to go to the docks, we don't need to go to the landing strip, because we don't need any more secondary loot. So all we're going to do is going to clear out these guys here that are outside, the same way as before, making sure that no bullets hit near the guys that aren't being shot yet. And we're just going to take the motorcycle, and then as we are riding the motorcycle over this grassy area, we're not going to go super fast because there's possibly a car in front of us. It's not in range, you see it just appeared there on the radar. It's already past us, so we're safe. That could possibly be right in front of you, so you don't really want to nail it over there, because if you get spotted, the helicopters will spawn and you'll start being shot straight away and you'll be losing cash and stuff. And once you've jumped the bike into the ocean, all you're going to do at this point is swim away. And that will be the conclusion of the 2-player heist. So, I hope that I have given you some information in this video that's going to help you complete this heist either on your own or with a friend. But it's definitely worth knowing how to do this stuff, because this is literally the single best way to make any money in GTA Online whatsoever. This is the fastest way to make money in GTA Online. It's just the fastest way. So thanks for your interest in watching this video, guys. Appreciate you watching it, and I hope you learn something and make some nice money from the game and have some fun. So thanks for watching again, guys, and I have been Sir Foxhawk. This has been the solo and duo Cayo Perico heist and strats for it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.